class. I am doing my speech on dangers of exotic pets. Okay. I'd like to inform the audience of the dangers of owning exotic pets. Although it may be tempting to own or care for an exotic animal, it's much more involved than you may think. Disease, cost, danger, and liability should weigh on your decision. There are many ethical concerns in owning exotic animals. For one, the environment you provide is very important. You have to try and recreate the ecosystem they're used to. If you have an animal that needs to be in cooler climates, you may have to have your house at a lower temperature. Their cage may need to have certain, a pool of water or really high fence, different things like that can become very expensive. Also, their medical care can be very hard to find, and when you do find it, you may not be able to afford it. And it's not ethical to own an animal that you cannot care for. So these are definitely large concerns. Also, if you are keeping an exotic pet in your home instead of out in the wild, they could become extinct. They're not out in the wild reproducing, and they need to do that. You never know when they could be endangered, and you could be contributing to that. Also, a lot of times when people have exotic pets, they're not aware of the local laws and legislatures. And unfortunately, a lot of times it is illegal to own these pets. So when people get in trouble for having these pets or can't find proper care medically or can't feed or care for them, they have nowhere to take them because zoos usually cannot take them. And so they have nowhere to go. And that's a large concern because it's not fair to them. And zoos could be overpopulated, or they have a certain budget for food or cages. So you have to think about all of these things. Also, the capture and transport kills millions of animals annually. A lot of these animals are caught illegally, transported illegally. So it's not regulated by the FDA or by any type of laws. So, where you would get an animal that is legal, it might be caught in a humane way, and it may be transported safely, and they probably put them to sleep, and they're careful, and it's not as chaotic. So it's dangerous for them to even be caught before you're even their owner. They're already going through a harrowing experience. Also, wild animals, exotic pets have diseases that are deadly to humans. Many people have a reptile in their home. Well, thousands of cases of salmonella are reported annually due to salmonella from a regular reptile, a turtle, a lizard, an iguana. So when we get into these exotic animals, they have diseases that, we can't handle. And some of these include rabies, herpes B, which is deadly, tuberculosis. These diseases are not even a normal thing for us. So to even be treated for these is not as easy as you would think if you survive it. They also a lot of times have worms that we're not used to. And 80 to 90% of monkeys have herpes B, which is deadly to humans. So a lot of the primates, that's a very popular exotic pet. And even though we love them and they're cute, they could be deadly to us. Liability is a huge issue of having an exotic pet. If your exotic tiger was to get loose in the neighborhood and tear apart your neighbor's BMW, you're liable for that. They can sue you for their vehicle. If it's worse than that, and God forbid a human or another animal was attacked or killed, you're liable for that as well. You can be sued civilly, and you can also have charges pressed against you for unlawful ownership of an exotic animal, for reckless endangerment. There are many, many things that can happen having an exotic animal and being liable for their actions. I know that we all want to love and experience them, but they definitely need to be experienced in a zoo. Exotics need proper care medically and a special diet, attention. They need everything to be like it is in the wild when you have them. So we definitely have to think and put a lot of thought into owning an exotic animal. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good one.